amount of coins that are locked, staked, whatever the fuck's going on. That would be the fully. But obviously the real one is not. So the market cap is $2.168 trillion. And now the market... Oh! Oh! It went to zero! Yo! Damn! There we go. Squid Games. Sayonara, motherfucker. Oh, good Lord. Holy shit. You seen it live, baby. You seen it live. A goddamn rug pool, baby. Shit. A live rugging. Wow. Wow. Holy fucking moly, man. That is a...
Kuma Klan, just checking in with you guys. We're going to do an update. We're going to talk about some things and we're going to hop into the specs, okay? As you can see from there, that is a rug pull, okay, guys? It is a large amount of activity in a short amount of time. Drawing a crowd and then hitting you with the David Blaine magician's hand. Running off with all your bags, destroying your dreams, crushing your future, sucking up your energy like the con men they are, like the crooks, like the people that the Hinas and the Kumas do not like. Okay? So, picture a rug pull. Once again, guys, if you're here for the first time, please hit your like button, notification bells, and comment Kuma Klan Diamond Hands. And part of the noise in the background, currently one of the biggest cities on the East Coast, the busy Apple at times. So we're gonna jump into this, okay? We're gonna talk about the Kuma, we're gonna talk about the Hina, and we're just, we understand the energy of a rug pull, guys. Hopefully that guys not, we had to share this information. I believe that short clip was greatly educational. Once again, I am not a financial advisor and nor do I offer financial advice. Just keeping you up to date. Things I received from the big Kumas, things I receive now from big Hinas. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump into this, okay, guys? We're gonna talk about the market. Hopefully we understand now the energy of a rug pull, okay? Let's simplify that even more. Envision standing in the middle of Times Square, or if you're in a big city, or no matter where you're at in the world, envision standing in a crowded area and sitting at a high elevation than everybody else, whether it's a tower, whether it's a building, and throwing a bunch of prop money off of the building. People will run from all over the market because they see everybody else picking up what it appears to be real. But as they're picking it up, the people understand that it's not real, but the people still come running. And by the time you figure that out, the fake already, it's too late. It's like a crowd rush. You never really dive into anything. You have to be a second guesser by nature. Wave riders. If you look at with the rug pulls and the things you deal with, these wave riders suffer from getting hit with rug pulls. And sometimes it is your casual investors, but a lot of times these are the people that chase the thrill. And we're going to discuss the thrill. What is going on in these markets, where we're at, and where we're going to head to in the next 30 to 60 days, possibly 90 days, which will be dramatic. Okay? So we're going to start. We're going to reverse engineer today. We're going to start off with Father Time, which is Bitcoin. We're going to discuss Bitcoin. Discuss, just the state of the market. Where is the market at? Where is it at as a whole? Where is it sitting at? Let's see where we're at with it, okay? Right now, you look at it, give or take, you can round off the rest. We're at 65,000, All-time high was 69, okay? So around 4,000 lower from that. I'm looking at Bitcoin as, I'm not going to dive behind it, but I still see Bitcoin is hitting on or about 70,000. That was always my prediction. I believe it fulfilled it, even if it doesn't push past that by, hitting its all-time high, before the end of the year, on or about. If it does push forward past that, that will be massive institutional investors, things of that nature. Okay, we have entered the last quarter of the current market, and we will be entering altcoin season. If Bitcoin doesn't jump into any dramatic moves, people brains will jump into altcoin season. Why? Because in the altcoin market, there is greater room for return, greater room for growth, greater room for development. Realistically speaking, people gotta look at the altcoin market as a gold mine. Yeah, it's a gamble. Yeah, it's risky. Yeah, you see rug pulls. Yeah, you. But once you align yourself with these markets, you see the shivers pop up. You see the doges, and these are the life-changing projects that started as altcoins. So do you consider these altcoins now? And things of that nature. You can go on with that. So I look at Dogecoin, right, and I'm really looking at this market. And I'm just going to be honest as far as how I interpret it, because I had a friend who hit me, guy, cool guy, Manny Dior, some India and stuff. He does beats, things of that nature. He likes to make instrumental beats of, different genres of music. He's more like the composer with the sounds in the back for the artist to speak upon, or. So he hits me and he's like, yeah, Dogecoin is not moving, it's been stuck, and, this was because I was an avid speaker of the Doge. I see him online, haven't talked to him in a while, and he just, talking to me about that. And I've been, I haven't talked to him since the SNL stunt. So from that point on, I was trying to keep him up to date, like, Doge is going to be in a slum. And then the way these markets are interacting is also, it's interesting, because I'm looking at reality. People hold coins, but people hold multiple coins. The average person is not just holding one coin, realistically speaking, So I see a pattern of hysteria. I see this crypto rush going on right now. I see Dogecoin, it goes through a slum, and it's hitting that slum, and you got the Shiba Inu, the Dogecoin killer, slowly trekking, and it hits the spark, and then the spark happens, and people go to the moon, people jump on a rocket, pulls back, and I'm just seeing this, and I'm watching as the space develops, and I'm seeing when the altcoin season jumps in, where the rush and the craze will hit. You always got people trying to catch that next and the next. But I don't think this trend is going to continue on throughout the whole existence of crypto. Of course not. I think that's just new because of all the people entering the market, and just the basically the greed index of trying to profit and maximize their profits. Like, yeah, Bitcoin is stability, but a Kuma just a week or two ago was a 4 or 5x. People who ran off on that. So I'm looking at these people, just these team hoppers. They're not really loyal to a certain space and things of that nature. So I look at it as these cryptos are gonna have large influxes, meaning when Kuma get popular enough, you're going to have a Kuma and a Shiba holder. There's going to be multiple people with wallets that's holding both coins, basically, with a little bit of Doge, things of that nature. So until this market actually fills up and then caps off, that's when all these projects will push forward, And when these altcoin burn-offs, these bubbles pop in the future, That's what I'm looking at with that. Now, when we look at Kuma Inu, right, down 13.1%. We had Kuma and Hina, as I discussed, even though they were 5, like I said, I look at these altcoins as extreme volatility at times. So when I look at consolidation, if we're dealing with extreme volatility, I believe we can have an extreme consolidationary range at times. So what I mean by that is I've seen Kuma at the 35 to 30, 36 at times, but I still held this resistance at the 30. So that is one thing that I will always say and be honest about. We both discussed and all discussed, including our new. Once again, if you're here for the first time, please hit that like button, hit your notification bells, and comment Kuma Klan, Hina Inu, Diamond Hands. We discussed that 30 because it was actually important. It was a main breaking zone. So I've noticed both of them has breached past the 30, but has continued to hover under that. So we're at the 20. We're like a little bit under the 30 right now. So that's not too bad, and it's been holding there. And with these two coins, another interesting thing that we must be aware of, we have to look at pushes. We have to look at inception dates, when these coins were born. Dormancy, the seed in the ground, the quiet period, the sprouting, the bloom, the rise, the consolidate. We go through the process of how this thing grew into where it's at now. So we got it at the max, and we push all the way back to Saturday, May 15th. Great. You know, we look at the Kuma Inu and we push back, you know, till Monday, May 31st. So we have the 31st, okay? And then we currently have this down as the 15th. So it's like a 2 week difference, okay? We have the immediate partnerships, okay? I just like to deal with reality. I don't like to, you know, they said the red pill, the blue pill, you know, I like to take the pill of truth. So we have that. So we say, is that a coincidence? Is, you know, we look for things of that nature. Okay, well, that's one factor. You know, inception dates. Okay, where we're at now. So then we have main support levels when these coins was well above that. You know, just, you know, doing my analysis. Red candle, green candle, Hinakuma. And then it's like we look at this as, wow, okay, I'm seeing this 30 as a strong, you know, new higher low for these coins, and definitely a strong support level that we keep an eye on. So we look at that, and then as you see the 29, you see, you know, and we see these coins continue that pattern. So that's a number check too here with that, okay? And then we, you know, we just, you know, once again, I'm not a financial advisor and no, don't offer any financial advice. Just keep you up to date. Things I receive from the Kumas. Development, growth, Hina, development, all of the families. So then we get to it and we look at the Kuma. We look at the Kuma having a great run, guys. We dealt with the FUD with the Kuma. This project is a rug pull. You know, rug pull is just thrown. A rug pull is a fast, devious act. And hopefully, with regulation, it will become a criminal act, obviously, because, you know, you're taking parcel money from old ladies. It's just crazy. It's just foul. You know, it's not really, you know, it shouldn't have to. And we will discuss that. And I will discuss what I have stated about rug pulls. With one action, there is a reaction. You had the credit card swiper guys running around. If you notice, you look at your credit card, you have a chip in there now. That was the reaction to the swipers. With every action, there is a reaction. Okay? But we will discuss that too. So we look at the Kuma Inu and we look at, okay, we have this run-up. We have the start of this run-up here. Okay? Okay, all right. Dive into it. Look at the base of it and just go up a little bit up. Okay, where we at around the 15th of Tuesday. And then we have the 12th. You know, so we look at the 15th, or the 5th, sorry, the 5th of Tuesday. We're at the 5th of Tuesday, and then we go up to the, you know, up to the mountain. And we have the 12th of Tuesday at the top of the mountain before the dive. Okay? So we had inception days, check. You know, support levels, check. You know, we look at overall price action, check. Partnerships, check. And then we go to the Kuma. Then we say Tuesday the 5th, check. Tuesday the 12th, check. From bottom to top. And then we jump into the Hina. And then we try to understand the Hina. Where are we at with it? You know, and then we see these things. You know, we go to the base, get down to it. And then we say the 7th, check. You know, and then we go up to the, you know, the top of it, the 23rd, 17th, you know. So we're looking at this to just get an understanding. This is the 12th, okay, of that type of movement. Is it relevant? So when we date back to other thoughts and we take a step back and we say, okay, well, we have the, you know, because we deal with numbers. I love numbers. Numbers is great. You know, numbers are the universal language of the universe. So we go, we got the 5th October, check. We have the 12th October, check. Hina, go to the base of the mountain, 11th October, check. 23rd October, check. Okay, so we look at the sparks flew here. And then they started to fly here. Okay? So we look at the top, that's the 12th. So the day right before the drop, the spark starts to fly over here. You know? as far as the development, the first beginning of it. So we had the base start here, of course, the whole game, not the game, guys, of course not the game. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor, I don't offer financial advice. Give you thoughts, aspirations, behind the scenes, how I make my plays, still the heavyweight picker, and just keeping you up to date on, So we have these newbies. These newbies, babies can be influenced easier than adults, of course. Infants can be influenced easier than adults. Toddlers can be probably a little bit more difficult to influence and so forth. It goes on into an adult and it gets harder than a wise man, and older gentleman's a little wise, so he's even harder than a 20-year-old. And as far as influence wise, because the brain is a developmental process just like life is. Okay. So I'm looking at these babies and how easily, influenced they can be. Just being realistic. Market cap, trading volume, looking at the bigger projects. So I'm looking at that and sitting on the fact of, we have the beginning, which is the 5th. Okay. We have the beginning, which is the 11th. Okay, great. So you started on the 5th. You started running on the 11th. Okay. Just thinking out this guy's just, using this as like a scientist. We're not going to do the religion. We're going to do the science, the facts. So, and you started. So you started the 5th. You started running on the 11th, But your run ended on the 11th. So you started on the 5th. You had a good, you're going to the base of the mountain, not all the way down. It's a nice, good base. And then you ended on the 12th. Okay? So that's the tip. Yeah, that's the base. 12th. So the 5th to the 12th. But, this guy right here decides to wake up a night before, not saying y'all know each other, but coincidentally, the night before, you decided to just, go back to sleep because, you just started diving after that. So you started your run here to the 23rd. Okay, and then we take ourselves down around the 23rd, and this was all the way through this temporary consolidative period. Okay, so I say this to say, if I was a chart diver right now, right, say if I was just, I understood this matriarch of cryptocurrencies and things of that nature, the percentage gains that I would have been up on these two specific projects would have been completely insane. If, nobody's, we don't read minds, we don't see in the future, but we're reverse engineering just to understand how did we get to the future. And so if I was a space diver, guys, we just looked at a freaking ridiculous amount of gain, probably 1,000%, 2,000%, etc. So if, because they landed perfectly, it was like, okay, I could have humored, and then, oh, wow, I hit the peak, I dive off, and, I don't like this, and I'm hit the peak, I take my money back because I don't know what's really going on here. It's too much of a run-up. I'm a little, let me take a breather. Let me just step out of it. And, and if you did, y'all did have partnerships. So, so say if people who understood these partnerships early on and it was part of the whole community, the super PAC, and, so they would have probably had their eyes on both projects. So, all of a sudden you see this going on, you hop on the wave and you peak out again. But, if you were dealing with this and that, I think the greed index would have been too overwhelming where you probably stepped out and said, hold on, I got too lucky. And, you walked off. And then maybe you came back in, or maybe you're planning to come, So that's just the types of things, just a lot of, with these two projects, they're basically in correlation a lot, in my view, in my opinion. Okay? Now, as far as adoption, when this project started, it was at a greater gap than currently this project. And actually, as far as today's rates of adoption, as far as holders, as you can see, this has been hours since I had this page up. We usually do this live because we like to, be transparent, things of that nature. And you can see it just jump back a little. It's not really moving, and it's actually giving Hina more room to close the gap between projects as far as holders influence stability, thus expanding the market cap and refueling the rocket for the next space shot. So I'm looking at, as far as the adoption with this project, it's kind of like before. You see it went up and the other one went down. It's kind of like when we dealt with the Kuma, when they said it was a rug pull, I was like, I'm kind of not in favor of that thought. I'm still being open and optimistic, even though I can have a thought and say I'm going to stick, that's my own personal, I'm with this anyway, gosh, like, you're putting your energy and your hard working, blood, sweat, and so I'm going to make my decision on, my personal. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor, no, off the financial advisor, give you behind the scenes thoughts and, ideas of how, I do my little Kuma dance, my little Kuma dance, things of that nature. So everybody's gonna make their own decision at the end of the day, with these types of things. So I looked at Kuma, I've looked at as far as the holders during that period was moving faster than our current period that we're in right now. After the run up and after there was more faster adaptation during the downtrend and during all of the FUD. People were still buying and adapting the project and so they knew something that we didn't know. And that's and it's the Matrix. So it's the game of games in a way. Not saying somebody knows something that we don't know, but how do we know they know something? They don't know something that we don't. That's all a game here. We can say that it's all the crypto fell out of the earth. This great technology and it was a con at first, or did somebody plant that there just to see how it's going to grow amongst the people, but decided to be in the shadows, deeply in the shadows. Yes. The architects of the whole, those who change, groom, pamper humanity into its next stages of life, its next stages of evolution. The universe, who knows? The coincidence, who knows? The God, who knows? The science, who knows? So when I look at these things, and I'm just looking at technology, adoption, where we're at. I can't get caught in one space or spectrum of anything. So I'm looking at these projects as they're coming along. Support levels, okay, Huma, you had FUD, stream FUD. The website down. That's not, can't say that's just somebody spreading FUD by telling the truth. I don't believe spreading FUD is telling the truth. The website's down is down. So wasn't really spreading FUD by, repeating that and, being cautious. Realistically speaking, we're dealing with new technology. But the more we understand these technologies, we can't be rug pulled. It's like you kind of develop a common sense in the crypto space. Because crypto is it's complicated. It's really, anything you first learn seems complicated until you do it. It's like riding a bike. It seemed all difficult, or drawing when you were younger, then you learn it and it's like, you don't even think about it anymore. It's easy. Like, I bet an airplane pilot just hops in a plane and flies off. He's not scared. He has no fear of height. He's just been doing it to him. Repetition. So when we look at this and we say, all right, the FUD, it was dropping, but the holders was going up. They knew something we didn't know. I look at, you have people that they don't got to be cheating. Not saying and leading it that way, but we have people that, have basically, as us as all people, if we all have a thought, us as intelligent people, to be understanding that we're not the only person having this intelligent thought. So a lot of times you can be a smart person, but if you see a mass of people going in a direction and you got your perception on one thing, it's like you can sometimes balance yourself and say, maybe my perception's a little off because these 50 people are going in this direction and maybe I'm going in the wrong direction, even though I assume it's this way. So that's what I look at when you see a project say, oh, it's FUD, it's crashing, rug pull, and then they're still buying it. So when we deal with the Hina, right, we see these price actions. I'm looking at a sell-off, not really a sell-off with the Hina, but the whole market. We survived through the sell-off. We are literally holding during the sell-off, honestly. We have 4.8% for the day. So we're actually holding during the sell-off, and the rate of adoption is slowly increasing. We get to the 15, the 16, things of that nature. And as far as Kuma, the burn that has taken place. So we can ignore that and still also have to consider the burn, because that's very important. So during this next little cycle here, I can see this speeding up here again, breaching 30,000 holders, of course, and then continuing forward. During this next crypto bull run, altcoin bull run, altcoin season to be specific, where are these buyers going to bat eyes at? What direction will they look at? People mention rug pull. If you're here for the first time, once again, hit that like button, ring them notification bells, and comment Kuma Klan Diamond Hands, because this is a Kuma Klan channel for the official Kuma's, the first meme channel of its type. Okay, so we look at Kuma Inu, right? I'm looking at, you see, when you see that rug pull right there, guys, you got to look at that thing. Destroyed a lot of people's lives, realistically speaking, guys. You got people that believe in these projects. You know, it is Christmas is coming up. We just had COVID. That wasn't really, it wasn't nothing real good to look at and be happy at. Like, wow, you know, look how fast it vanished. That's why they say rug pull. We're not going to just keep running you up and move you through this, develop this website, have a guy with a reputation hop into this. This coin has reputation behind it. Developers from shiba, this and that. These people have a reputation to keep. So I'm not going to affiliate myself with a rug pull. Because say if the squid coin, whatever it was, and they said Squid Game, but I believe it was called Squid Coin. If this was a part of our super PAC and that thing rug pull, these coins, people would have been selling out left and right. So if a coin is affiliated with a rug pull, once the pull happened, even if that coin is not a rug pull, a massive drop will happen with that coin. I believe at least 50 to 60%. Because common sense and security, like, hold on, they're a rug pull. You're dealing with this guy. You have him on your website and it just rug pull. I'm pulling my money out. Even if I don't, just to be safe. If I want to come back in and I believe it's not, I'm going to let some time go by for all the time. And so that's what's going to happen. It's a domino effect, okay? So we got these coins in the super PAC. Yes, they're in some type of form of partnership. That can be, solidified. Some type of form of partnership can be, we've seen enough of that. Okay, we've seen the post, the shot of each other. They don't have to be right in bed next to each other, but just an acknowledgement of each other. So if you're in the acknowledgement of each other, you have both had brands to keep. If you knew anything was shady, they would have got out of there. So that's the first thing. Second thing, during this altcoin season, you understand and people fear the rug pull. If you've seen that video, that quick informational clip, you will understand how scary that is to see all your money vanish. Some people use crypto as a hedge against inflation. So Bitcoin is where people store valuable assets of money as far as currency. And I mean at large amounts. So it's not like they're just, I'm going to put $100 in the Bitcoin. Some of these Bitcoin holders have billions of dollars in Bitcoin. Okay? Some of these Shiba Inu holders are multi-millionaire holders, okay? So nobody is going to deal with a coin that's a rug pull if you have these holders that is part of it, because you're going to pull right around that time and get, or whatever, common sense. And as far as loss, you have to look at when you see a drop like that, that is very scary. Because we have to be realistic. Yeah, you might put $500, somebody might put $1,000. Some people use this as a hedge in inflation, and some people are crypto traders. So a person will come in the market with 10K or 5K, whatever. That is like, come on, guys, that's a lot to be just vanished right in front of poof. And there's no way you can get it back. There's nobody for you to, it's just, what can you do about it? That is ridiculous. And that market cap and, how much money was pumped into that. Because people were running to the fire without doing their due diligence. Rug pulls are not projects. And I'm going to hover over this for guys. I know it's a little over 10-15 minutes, but we're going to get into the core of this. This is a very important video. And if you're here for the first time, hit your like button, your subscribe button, notification bells, comment Kuma Klan Diamond Hand. We are the official Kuma Klan Diamond Hand holder meme channel, first in its type. So when we look at these rug pulls, the amount of money that is pumped into them, the amount of money that will vanish from a rug pull. We have to look at a rug pull feeds on what? Excitement. They feed on excitement. They feed on greed. They don't feed on the project is going down and, we're going to let it go down slowly and give you a chance to sell out. No, they will swipe you in 5 seconds for everything you own, Kuma. That's what we must understand. I'm going to be adamant about that. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor, another offer financial advice. Please do your own due diligence, research for entering anywhere in the crypto space. But I'm going to be adamant about that for my Kumas with little Kumas and little Hinas to raise common sense. So if you're going to enter up in here greedy, that is what they feed on. Oh, Squid Coin's going up 2,500%. Kuma, forget the coup. And you're going to leave broke. So they feed on greed. Projects you see being developed, going through their ups and their downs, regular life, that is confidence. But people don't feed into that as confidence. Like, oh my gosh, it's not moving. It's pulling back a little bit. Oh, I broke my support level. You said it was 30. I'm at 29. Let me sell it. It's like, come on, calm down. So people go through that. They go through this nostalgia because they're chasing the bull. You're supposed to ride the bull, Kuma. You're supposed to be on back of that bull before it even started running. In my eyes. I just have to second guess and things of that nature and live like that because I have Kumas to raise. I just can't take any chances. How about that? Yeah. So if I come in here and I see a pullback, I expected that before I jumped in there because I didn't put that time in to see the bull go up. I wasn't on. If I'm on his back, that means I'm right here. And I rode him all the way up. So when he goes back down, it's like, okay, big deal. I started at the bottom, now I'm here. So that's what I'm looking at it like. So when you ride this bull up, you're secure. But if you're going to jump on top of the bull or try to chase him at the top, he could run off on you. That's just it's common sense, man. Oh, well, it should be common to everything in existence. So when you look at a rug pull, you're looking for fast action. You're looking for nostalgia because it's pumping beyond belief with no sensible measures. And you're looking to get everything you want snatched because the greed is the bait. The digital hook is the coin, the nostalgia, the energy. The greed is the financial bait of, it's 1,000%, 5,000%. Rug pulls don't go back. They don't they don't have consolidate. They go up and they take you on a dive. Kind of like a wrestling move in a way. So with the Kuma Inu, we've discussed that before. But I'm going to mention it one time, not to be repetitive here for the first time. Hit that like button, notification. A comment, Kuma Klan Diamond Hands. Now, Kuma Inu is a project, guys. Due diligence, research. Is like, not only did they develop the project, they walked off from the project. There's nobody who can alter the project. Because this is like a kind of a weird type of thing here, It's like a little different. It's a different approach. They released all control over this project and then set it on, basically, if you ask me, on autopilot instead of because if you don't have any big developer, they can't create a burn, because currently this project is trying to get listed on platforms, they're getting their donations up, things of that nature. And a lot of these projects, they have a wallet set aside for them type of investments, and it's already engineered in the buyers. Meaning, instead of having a burn, we're going to send this to this wallet, and this wallet is used to market this coin in the future to help get on platforms or pay any fees or any liquidity that we need. Liquidity. So with this autopilot type of thought process, you can't do that. So the autopilot is the 100% safe and rug pull. Ownership was renounced. Okay? That means no one owns the contract and liquidity pool is locked forever. Okay? So that was things that we had to understand. As far as the liquidity is stuck there. The rewards and the burns and the 2% of the transactions, that's creating automatic burns. Okay? But currently with this project, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if you want to have a debate for the kicks. But once you renounce your ownership, you step back, there's no way for you to really, the project is running. What you're going to go in the system, I'm going to just create all, you can't just burn these tokens. So with the auto burn already done in it, when the architect built the system, the digital system, the cryptonomic book, the crypto donations, the crypto elevations, Kumas, we're looking at it like it's going to decrease over time. It's on an autopilot. Rug proof. This is the thing here. We talked about it. With every action is a reaction. You think people are not concerned? Everybody is concerned about a rug, especially me. Oh my gosh. Oh, I will faint. Kumas. So that is we're going to see this more and more. After your squid coin, the little squid coin fiasco, you're going to see these types of actions to secure people because people are cautious. Why? It's just obvious. No matter what goes on with a coin, And it's been Shiba. It's not just, I'm not singling anything out or anybody out, but no matter what goes on with a coin, the minute it is not going right, people start screaming rug pull out of nowhere. It's like, it's like being around 9/11 and walking around, talk about you got something in your backpack, or, it's like walking around in a backpack after 9/11. This is too much. Just realistic. So that is what occurs. So we're in a rug pull panic era. So the greatest FUD to be passed on, or it's a rug pull, that's going to get people like, nobody wants to just, you see what it dive. Everything is gone now in 10 to 15 seconds. You're going to go up and you're going to vanish into the abyss. So nobody wants to go through these things. So people are cautious during this season. Okay, and during this season, they will look for security, utility, things that can't be damaged. Because if you look at, you enter a space, it's like, okay, if this space is not the way it looks and I don't like the way it is, I can just step out anytime I want. Okay, I might take a loss here, I might take a loss there, I might have to wait a little bit just to balance out what, take to shorten my losses, whatever the case is, but nobody wants to be rug pulled. And that is, when you see these rug pulls, I want you to understand that that is very important for the crypto space, for the security of the space. Sadly, that is humanity. Okay? Now, what do I mean by humanity? You look at banks, you look at the history of a bank, a lot of these banks, they didn't even have to have safes at first. Over time, they adapted to the actions of the dark energy, the knuckle, whatever you want to describe it as, the people that went to these banks to do foolishness, do madness. They adapted. Cars was not always the same. So this market is going through real life. Everything is recycled over and over and over. Just a little different. It looks like the process is different. It's the same thing. You have to come out with a version of something. It's dealing with finances. People will attack it from every angle. They are going to slowly adapt to every attack over time. Each crypto is going to adapt to attack. Each crypto is going to make sure they separate themselves to make sure, like, listen, I'm not that con guy. I'm not a con. That's going to be their marketing thing now. You're going to start hearing this, rug proof. That's going to become a marketing ploy now, because people are catching on like, wow, rug pull is really a nostalgia. And it rightfully should be. You've seen that. So it rightfully should be a nostalgia. So they're going to start jumping into that. They're going to watch for this. People are going to understand, okay, this shoot up, if this was a rug pull, it would have shot up, and when it dived, it wouldn't have stopped. It would have went straight to zero and disappeared. Okay, that's the rug pull. Same thing. It would have went, and I'm pretty sure they would have ran it up more than that, guys. These people that do these rug pulls, they're going for the max, because the more you get the nostalgia, the more they're pouring money into it. This is how they run off with $24 million. These guys ain't running off with no 389,000. This is not no rug pull. Nobody's running off with the market cap. We love our Kumas, we love our Hinas, but we're going to be realistic here, people, and look at real market caps, real important Bitcoin Father Time market caps. So nobody's going, because we got to look at it. We're thinking, we know that it's in our, everyday citizens, we go to work, we take care of our Kumas, our little Hinas. Of course, it's a lot of money to us, but we have to take ourselves out of it. And if we have a situation where we have two heavyweight fighters or two NBA championship players or two pro golfers, it's like, hold on, we're not pro golfers. So he's a better pro golfer than him, but they both can kick our butts. So of course the Doge, the Shiba, the Inu is richer than all of us, but there are classes within each other. Okay. So at the end of the day, Bitcoin is the big dog. And in comparison to Bitcoin, yes, we have to look at it, and we have to look at rug pulls and the nature of a rug pull. Usually the price caps with it, the market caps. These people are coming, they're thieves. They're coming for as much money as possible. It's the greed index with them. But they don't want nobody to catch on. It's common sense. So with the thing, so I'm not looking at them coming to take no 389. No. It will go up. Ridiculous amount, 24, things that make no sense. This coin comes out and it's at $1 trillion. You got to hear the numbers, guys, and be like, it's too much. Whoever stayed for that rug pull, unless they had something where you couldn't sell, I don't know. I didn't involve myself with that. I heard about it, and I had to sit back and listen because I was not chasing it. And They have to shoot this thing up ridiculous amounts of cash. And that is a first flag of a rug pull, meaning the greed index. Oh, Hina shot up and it's pulling back, or it's a rug pull. No, it's going to keep going. When it's a rug pull, it's going to keep going. Yeah, it's going to keep feeding you. Feed your greed. Because you're, man, yeah, it's pulling back. No, come on, keep getting more money. Yeah, come on. Yeah, and it's going to just take you. That's the game with these rug pulls. So when we have these run-ups and these pullbacks, that's a sign of truth. Just, realistic. When you see have regular growth and regular development, is a sign of good things. Nothing sturdy and nothing of quality was built in a short amount of time. Everything that is great takes time. We age, we grow wiser. And parents, oh, you look a little old. No, your body, your soul is more pure. You're more aware. You're more awake. No more lesser mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, but you're doing lesser mistakes. You're not stuck in history. Your mind adapts to these things. So that's where we're at with that. Okay, guys? So, the rug pull is out the door with the Kuma, with the Hina. Okay? We're currently sitting under the 30, which is good. We currently have the same or are mimicking many of the same characteristic crypto traits. Wow, characteristic crypto traits. If that ever goes in a dictionary, give me some credit. So we're mimicking these traits. There's a lot of things going on here. I have I have an over attention, so I pay attention to things. I absorb lots of information, lots of books, it's just a thing with me. So with that being said, we have the same type of action here. Well, do we have to say I don't believe that? We can do the debate, but time. We both don't know, but time. Let Father answer everything, So when I say that is because if we're looking at the circle of life, history repeating itself, 360 degrees of a circle, the big Kuma, the big architect Kumas, the builders. And we look at all these things, we have to say this. We can look for Kuma, maybe Kuma break out again, maybe Hina break out after that. That's, we can keep an eye on that. But they're moving in the same correlation, and we're going to deal with that for now. As far as Bitcoin, we're about to hit altcoin season, so we're going to have a lot of activity soon. A lot of energy is going to be pumped. And we're going to deal with that. Okay, guys? And we're going to give updates. This was an important update. Okay? So we have a crypto similarity between the Kuma and the Hina. Okay? Lots of similarities, lots of agreements, birth dates, they know each other, so it's just a lot, So it's a lot of things they have in common. So we're just going to keep an eye on that. Not saying they're ready to go on a date already, So we just, it's just things you keep an eye on as an open-minded person who's observant to things. Okay? Observations is very important. So we're actually in a good space with both of these cryptos, okay? We were just born, the direction we're heading overall. And if you're here for the first time, hit that like button, notification bells, and comment. Kuma Klan, Diamond Hands, and we're signing off.